Hello everyone, I'm Tom Dowling and thank you for joining me on this episode of Drive Along. Today on Drive Along, we're heading to Hunters Point in Long Island City as we pass the entrance to the Queens Midtown Expressway and the Midtown Tunnel. We're driving west on Borden Avenue, approaching Vernon Boulevard and Jackson Avenue. This area, located in New York City's borough of Queens, was once dominated by manufacturing and distribution terminals. Hunters Point has seen significant improvements since the early 2000s with the development of the waterfront area and the rapidly expanding residential neighborhood we're about to visit. The waterfront development projects have certainly revitalized this area. This section is referred to as Hunters Point South and is bordered at the south by the Newtown Creek, with Greenpoint, Brooklyn just across the creek. I believe there will be over 2,400 residential units when the development of the southernmost tip is completed. So please stick around and join me for a ride along down Center Boulevard in Hunters Point, Long Island City, Queens. Welcome back and thanks for joining me on this ride along. We just made a right turn from 56th Avenue onto Center Boulevard as we head north crossing 55th Avenue. As we look left, you see the Hunters Point, New York Waterway ferry stop. Some beach volleyball, anyone? To our right is the 145,000 square foot Hunters Point campus. Crossing Borden Avenue, on our left, is a huge artificial turf activity field. The campus houses the Academy for Careers in Television and Film, along with a middle school. The developers and the city's Parks Department did a fantastic job landscaping the area. Need to take a short hop? Grab a city bike. Beautifully landscaped with trees, sustainable grasses and flowers, this section also has a dog run and plenty of scenic pathways. Gantry Plaza State Park's southern section begins at 50th Avenue. The most prominent feature of the park is a collection of gantries with car flow transfer bridges, which in turn were served by barges that carried freight rail cars between Queens and Manhattan. Off to the left, the Queens Public Library's Hunters Point branch. As we cross 48th Avenue on Center Boulevard, let's take a closer look at the library. Slated to open later this month, the expansive skyline views and plenty of natural light. The library will also feature a rooftop reading garden. This northern section of Center Boulevard was previously known as the Queens West Development. It has plenty of ground floor retail spaces. All of these high-rise residential buildings feature rooftop gardens and green spaces. Not to mention the spectacular Manhattan skyline views. This stretch of Center Boulevard is also home to the famous 4-story tall Pepsi-Cola sign, which just recently gained landmark status in New York City. A big change since Long Island City's industrial days, when the Pepsi-Cola bottling plant occupied this very space up until 1999. Seems to be so long ago here in Long Island City. As we make a right turn on North Basin Road along the 11th Street Basin. I want to thank you for joining me on this ride along. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till next time.